These are amazing opening tricks and strategies of the French defense, and many of my viewers were asking about it. So, if you watch the complete video, you will have a good idea about how to play against the French defense and how to play with it. I have covered all the traps that exist in it. So, let's start the video. We have e4, e6, this is the French defense, and now we are expanding in the center. We go into some theoretical line. After this pawn push which challenges the pawn, e4 pawn, we can just capture it or we can just advance the pawn. If you just capture it, you will see this is the exchange variation and this is also a book move. So you invite black to play an open game because both the bishop can be developed, and for white it is only a tempo up because you are having the first move. So many players plays this, but I prefer this pawn push which invites this pawn push and challenges the central pawn, and this is the main idea of the French defense. We always undermine the pawn chain, and if you think you can just capture it, then this is pretty bad because after this bishop captures, bishop is joining the attack, and you will see your pawn in e5 will become weak and you will lose this pawn slightly in the middle game. So you don't want to capture it, and the best move here is to just push the pawn and create a good center. So you can develop the bishop or knight, both are just same. Bring the knight out, we have to develop our knight. Queen joins the attack and now pressurizes the pawn in the center. We have two variations here which I will show you. First variation is to move this bishop, or you can play this pawn push. Both are just fine, both are good move, and it is coming from the theory. So let's first discuss about the bishop move. You might say some of the beginners players who just don't know about the French defense, after you can think we are just gambiting a pawn, but still it is not capturable. It looks like the pawn is hanging, but we cannot capture it. If you just capture here, this is a mistake, and I will just capture it, and you cannot capture with the queen because this bishop check and you are losing the queen. So we don't have much fun after you play this line because you will just lose the game. So everyone knows about this French defense and they play this bishop move. Why this bishop is important? And if you say with the white, if you say that you can just castle, then this is pretty bad, because if you just castle, you just blundered a pawn, and black can just capture here, and there is no check with the bishop because this bishop is controlling the diagonal, and you will just lose the game. After queen captures, bishop capture, you want to eliminate this, and capture, and you are simply down too much pawns. Means you are down one pawn and the king is in the center, but black is winning. So this is not playable, you cannot go for that. And before castling, you have to play this bishop back. Why this bishop back? You don't want to lift the bishop to protect the pawn because you will lose this pawn here, and this is pretty bad because once you lose this pawn, your this rook is hanging. Once you save it, black is completely fine. You will have just blundered a pawn, and this is no way to play this game. So you don't want to play the bishop move to protect the pawn. So the best move here is to play the bishop back, or you can play this bishop to c2. Why this move is important? We just want to play this bishop to this diagonal because this knight is always coming here to here, and we will not have enough protection against this central pawn. So that is the theory. But before that, we can go for this knight maneuver. We challenge this bishop, and if you say okay, just develop the knight, then this is slightly bad because after this capture, queen capture, and black has this queen maneuver which is perfectly solving all the problems with black. Now you cannot castle because queen is slicing the diagonal, and that's it. You will have to play this queen move, and after this capture, this is pretty fine. You can play with black and white, but you did not get anything. You just exchange the pieces, and if you are playing with white, you don't want to exchange the queens because you should win the game. At least sometimes you can just draw the game, but winning the game should be your strategy with the white. So that is why we cannot develop this knight, and whenever this knight comes here, we have to castle, and this knight capture, queen capture, and obviously this rook can join the attack. We can just bring the knight out, and you would see this knight is also coming into the game, and knight can just be shifted to other of the squares. Let's say develop the bishop, you can jump with the knight. Knight was not doing anything, so we can just push the pawn. That is also the theory. And if you push the pawn, you have two options, whether to go back or you just eliminate this bishop from here. You eliminate here. We have the open f file, but you cannot attack in very simplest manner because black pieces, these bishops are doing great, and this bishop can also come here because your knight is pinned, and there are so many moves that can be played. And you can play this bishop move, you can just castle and undermine the pawn chain with the pawn push, and if you capture, rook captures, and that's it. Black is having the bishop pair, so both are pretty good. Now let's talk about the second variation, which starts with a3, which is super exciting. But before that, if you are watching on Facebook, click the link in the description to watch the full video, or if you want early access to exclusive content on Facebook, you can take the subscription of this page like my 3 subscribers are already enjoying. Eventually, you would be supporting me to create more amazing content for you by taking the subscription. So now let's dive straight into this wonderful variation. After I push this a3 move, there is an indication that you have to push a5. Why this move is important, you will see. If you continue with this knight move, then I will just capture here. Once you capture with the queen, I can just expand in the queen side, and I just got rid of my weak b pawn which was attacked by this queen, and we are just expanding in the queen side. We can develop the knight, develop the bishop, and that's it. Our position is really better. That is why this is still playable, and you can play this game also with the black or white, but the more advanced move here is to push this a5. Now you are not allowing this pawn push to happen, so we can continue developing. This bishop is coming and we are ready to castle. So there are many varieties of moves black can play. You can play this bishop move, which is obviously good, or you can play also this a4 idea, preventing any pawn push here. But after this, if you play this knight move, this is really losing, because now you can capture again here, and you cannot capture with the queen, and you have to go back with the queen. If you try to capture, then this is simply lost. You have to spot this brilliant idea with the bishop. Now you will see the queen is now trapped, so you have to push the pawn to prevent any of the queen capture. So once we capture with the pawn, you can no longer capture here. Obviously you have to move the queen. You can go to several places. You can also go here, but this is more losing, and we can just push the pawn, open up the discovery on the queen, and this knight is lost for free. So you don't want to play that, and you can play this queen b6 attacking this pawn, and still it is winning. We can just push the pawn, open up the discovery on the queen. So once you capture here, we can capture here, we can capture here, but still this is winning for us. And you can pause the video to try and find the wonderful move for white. But wait, while you are thinking, you can just click the like button, as it motivates me to create more amazing content for you. And if you want notification of this kind of trap, you can subscribe my channel, so whenever I upload any video, you will get it at the earliest. And don't forget to click the bell icon, because the notification will only reach to you. So I think you would have spotted this wonderful idea with this bishop move. Now we are attacking the queen. So once you move the queen, we have more amazing moves with the knight. Once you move it, queen is now under attack, so you have to play something, and there is only one move. You capture this pawn. Once you capture here, I have the brilliant idea with this knight. Now we are attacking the queen, and also we are threatening some fork with this knight to deliver check. So once you deliver a check with the queen, we can just block with the bishop, and that's it. We have completely won the match, and you have to give up this queen. But if you don't give up the queen, let's play the only square where this queen can go. this is a blunder, and this would lead to checkmate in one, because now king has no square to go, and this is the stunning checkmate we were waiting for. So this line is really winning for you. So that is why we cannot play this knight move, and you want to play this bishop, which looks good, or you can also push this pawn. So I will show you this bishop line, which is super exciting. So after this we can just castle, and after this castling, if you want to march with the knight, you first capture in the center, because again this would lead to the same result. If you try to go here with the knight, I can again capture here, and you cannot capture again, because if you capture, this is a blunder, and now we can again trap the queen. Once you play this move, again the pawn push, and pawn push is coming, you play this move, the pawn push, and if you this time it is more advanced level, we can just capture here, and you cannot capture my rook, because you will just get checkmated with the queen. So this line is obviously losing, and you will lose the game. So before we start our knight march from here to here, we have to realize the importance of capture in the center. So we capture here, and that is good for us. So after this, and now you can expand with the knight move. Knight goes here to here. Then we can play a very important move with this knight. So now this knight is coming here to attack this pawn twice. This means thrice. This knight is attacking, and this queen is also attacking this pawn. So we can just play this bishop move, and that is fine. Why this move is good? You will see. Are we gambitting a pawn on b2? Obviously not. If you try to accept this pawn, this is just a blunder, and you have simply lost the game. Because I have this knight maneuver attacking the queen, and the queen is again trapped. So this is a poisoned pawn variation of the French defense. So you cannot play this. So this bishop move is really exciting, and after this you can just capture here, and that's it. We are completely in better position, and f file is really open. So you can play this line, but we have a super exciting move after this. We don't want to play this bishop move, and you can play a very exciting this knight maneuver and attack the queen. So you don't have time to capture here, because if you capture, your queen is lost, and you cannot capture with the queen, because I am already protecting with the knight. So there are two options, whether to go here or here. Let's say you go here, but you will just blunder the game after few of the moves. Let's see, we can push the pawn, attack this knight, and when the bishop is not here, so this knight cannot jump here to challenge our knight, because after the trade, bishop is really on a good square, and that will be good. But when this bishop is not here, we can just attack this knight, and once you go back, you will realize the importance of this knight. This knight is not doing anything. So once we attack the queen, we should just bring this knight back, and that is the best move. So bishop e3 is also good. You can play this bishop move, but this comes with a trick. So that is why this move is really important. Now if you play any of the moves, you will just lose the game. If you play this type of move, I will go here, attack the queen, and once you move the queen, I will deliver this check, and your rook is just lost. So that is why the only move here which saves the game is to bring this knight, because you open up this bishop diagonal, and now this trick will not work, because bishop will just capture. So now we can play the very important this pawn push, and you have to realize the importance of this move. And for surviving the attack, you should play this pawn push and attack the king side, and don't allow this h pawn to march forward. But if you play something like this pawn push, this is a blunder, and now you can gain the activity by the same fashion we just saw. After this pawn push, you have to give up this knight, or if you don't give up, just go back. This is a blunder again, the same, we can just attack, and that's it. We deliver this check, and this check is coming, and you are just losing all the material, and the game is all yours. So how was the video? I think you enjoyed the video. If you like my chess opening traps, you can support me by giving donations. Even $1 would be enough. PayPal link is in the description, or you can scan the QR code, and I assure you, your money would be invested in research of more amazing content, improving the video and audio quality so that you can enjoy this type of video. Like, share and comment, which is also another way to help me. Thanks a lot, and I will see you soon in my next video with more amazing content.